My name is Steve Roberts and I'm the owner and general manager of Platinum Homes. And I'm here just to introduce a little bit about the Dubai property market and some of the investment potential that we have here. I've been in the property industry now for over 20 years. That has been in many countries including Spain, UK, Singapore, Australia. I've also consulted in the US and even as far away as Russia. What I've seen in that time is my qualifications really bring me to the fact that there's a lot of potential around the world and a lot of people looking for exactly the same in property investments. Generally a good investment return with as little investment risk as possible. In the Dubai market, I've been here 3 years. In that time I've worked with most of the developers here in Dubai up to a point of setting up Platinum Homes. Dubai's real estate market really began just over 4 years ago previously. And the reason, like a lot of markets, it started off was that the government decided in their wisdom to allow foreign investment. So pretty much foreigners could buy property in Dubai. And as in any market where that's happened, whether it be Bulgaria or Turkey or wherever, the market tends to springboard with the amount of investment coming in. That's certainly where we're at. Even if we were in a traditional market of a 7 to 8 year cycle, then even in Dubai we wouldn't even be halfway through today. Generally investments are divided into two particular areas. Okay? Dubai in a fresh market is also a real good indication of that. In this type of market you have two major opportunities. One of those would be buying off plan, primarily where you would purchase something pre-construction, obviously before it's built, and you pay for that generally during the period of construction. Hoping obviously that at the end the value is obviously a lot more than the initial purchase price that you paid maybe 1, 2, sometimes even 3 years before. The other generally is what we call a completed product. Quite simply, is it something that you wish to either use yourself, utilize, whether it be for rental or to live in yourself. So generally that is obviously a lot more secure because you get a good feeling for that, but generally you're going to be paying obviously the market value for that property as well. So when it comes to investments, you need to look at how I'm going to use it and what I'm going to pay. Before we go any further, things to be aware of. That's a question that most people looking at spending any money would ask themselves on anything. Here generally, it's looking at a track record is important because again, in a market that's only 4 years old, you can get some pretty young people or young companies or even developers in this market. So you tend to have a lot of the times a real good gut feeling, but now you also need to do your homework as well. Obviously when you're dealing with agents, again, we come back to what to look for. Fortunately, the government has stepped in with insight and now has brought in and is under the process of bringing in some very tight restrictions. Those are similar to other countries, and an example would be Australia, where I've worked previously, where you need to go through a 5-day period of school backed by the government to acquire your training, then your licensing. A similar basis is brought in here to Dubai with the Dubai real estate new agent laws. That's going to simply mean that all agents have to be licensed, so the advice you're going to be getting is from a licensed agent. This will take a while to do because of the amount of agents here in Dubai, but it is long overdue. So generally in the future, look for somebody who has a good background, experience in other markets, who has training and is registered even in other countries, and certainly here in Dubai, make sure they have that qualification. Good areas to buy. Alright, on that question really, it comes into, again, divided into off-plan or something you're going to utilize yourself. Now off-plan development, where we are at the moment is Dubai Marina. Dubai Marina in the last 3 to 4 years is a good example of exactly what an off-plan opportunity can do. A lot of the properties behind me, from their initial purchase price, okay, to today's sale price, are at least double. Now in a 3 to 4 year period, that's a phenomenal opportunity. And again, now that there's a lot of areas in Dubai, Sports City, Dubai Land, that are doing exactly the same as where the marina was 4 years ago. The other type of investment, again, is one where you're going to utilize it yourself. So again, it's either going to be for rental, so you need good rental yields, and obviously if it's for yourself, you're not comfortable taking into account the traffic, the schools, that's something you're really going to get a feel for as you would buying a house back home. The kind of returns that can be expected, and again, there are no guarantees, and I'm certainly not going to sit here and do that. You look at historics and the future planned, and certainly Dubai has some incredible future. But to give you an example of what has happened, again, the marina, there's a lot of ways, and again, risk is always involved. You can buy an off-plan product and wait till completion, and then again, you've got a good base for around about half the price what you initially would have paid for today's value. But also there is a potential as well, and the investors market has always been very ripe. It's called speculative. And that's simply where somebody will buy a property, okay, and they'll pay for it, and anywhere from between 30 to 70% into those payments, they'll choose a time in which they wish to sell it and take that profit out immediately. This has happened even by buying floors or multiple units, buying 3 or 4 units and selling them after maybe 20-30% payment. This is really down to, again, a good choice and good advice. Speculative, again, is risky, but again, not without the returns. That's so easy to ask, and an easy question to ask everybody that's looking for purchasing property anywhere. If I looked at the demographics of who's buying property in Dubai, it is divided primarily between people in the GCC regions and overseas investors. And to keep it simple, you could pretty much cut that in half. I deal a lot with holidaymakers and people here visiting Dubai for the first or second time. And there's a couple of reasons for that I'll tell you in a moment. But generally, those holidaymakers, anybody literally that comes to Dubai, the huge majority of people love it and literally want to stay here. Properties that offer good investment returns today. Again, that's down to the investor themselves and how much risk they wish. Now, of course, buying a finished product, you know exactly what you're paying for it, you can see the value of that, and whether you want to use that yourself against the high cost of rents we have here, or you decide that you're going to rent it out and maybe use it occasionally as a holiday home, those potentials are there. But the biggest returns are, again, off-plan investments. The marina has done well, but again, comparative to the market, a lot of the units are finished here, so we can see exactly what people will pay for a finished unit in the marina. One of the great areas at the moment, certainly one of my particular favourite areas, is the Dubai Land project. A project which is spanning over 2 to 3 million square feet and is almost pretty much the size, twice the size of Disney World. That is the government's really idea of the largest attraction, okay, worldwide in tourism. It's a long-term growth. Again, the government is behind it, and certainly Sports City, which is the first phase of release, is a great opportunity for potential returns, because everybody loves sport, whether it be cricket, football, tennis, golf. All the major academies worldwide are going to be based there, and it's coming out the ground right now, so good returns. Steps to purchasing a home. And when we say home, again, there's a little bit difference between an investment and a home. A home primarily is somewhere where somebody wishes to live, and they call it their base. That really is where somebody really needs to do their homework, and the best feeling you're going to have for any area is talking to somebody in that area. So take the time, whether you want to go onto a real estate forum, or you want to go to an expat website here in Dubai. That's where you're going to get good feedback from whether you wish to stay in Arabian Ranches, the Greens, the Springs, these type of purpose-built communities. There are some new communities coming out the ground that maybe look at, as you move really south, where again you have clinics, hospitals, schools in that area, and a nice low-level living community. Home is something really you'll only know when you get a really good feel for seeing it. A lot of people are purchased in Dubai for what we call visa purchases. Primarily they come from countries that originally it isn't easy to get a visa to stay here in Dubai. Iran, Russia would be another example. There is nothing wrong with this, at the fact of as long as they're not purchasing primarily for that. The reason is quite simple, is nobody should give advice on visas, okay, when it comes to property. Yes, there are properties you can purchase in Dubai that will entitle you to a residency visa, whether it be in Ras Al Khaimah, where you may get a 3-generation visa, or here in Dubai where you'll get a renewable visa over a shorter period of time. That advice can only come from the Dubai government, okay? So you need to speak to the specific department dealing with that to make sure that you are getting exactly what you wish when it comes to a visa. Those laws may change. Now again, the question a lot of people ask is, they are buying here in Dubai in a tax-free environment. Again, the laws at the moment are that there is no, at the moment, for a set period of time as well, there is no income tax, etc. Obviously the laws really depend on the laws in your own country, and obviously where the money is coming from. generally you need to take specific advice. Okay, there are a lot of people here that take advantage of the fact that it's a tax-free environment, have an account here, leave the money here, and obviously spend the money here. The most important thing for Dubai as well is that from the point of view is that anybody living here, if you're living here and earning money here, generally, believe me, you're certainly spending it here.